Which of the two is the bigger loss, J.J. Watt or Davante Adams?
It's Davante. And in this particular game, for sure, because Kyler Murray and that offense is going to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers and that offense to score points. And obviously, we know what the situation is with Lazard, but that's not even in the equation. I'm talking about when Aaron breaks pocket, when he needs a guy for a for sure play, Kyler Murray will have DeAndre Hopkins. Aaron Rodgers won't have Davante Adams. And I see this game playing out in a way where J.J. Watt effectiveness would have been more so in the pass rush than in the run game, because Green Bay is doing a phenomenal job of spreading people out and creating runs and creating space for Aaron Jones. But Davante Adams in this game, where you got another high-powered offense staring you down the barrel on the other side of the line of scrimmage, it is going to be a problem because points will be at a premium. And we ain't gonna act like Green Bay defense is world beaters. They are going to give up a large amount of points tonight against the Arizona Cardinals. So I just think not having your weapons, so if you have to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with this offense with Kyler Murray, and not having your main guy is the bigger issue than losing J.J. Watt.
Man, in the first hour, I had to deal with Woody, an ex-offensive lineman going with the receiver, and now I got to deal with you, an ex-defensive lineman
you ain't saying
going with the
Watt.
receiver. Yes, J.J. Watt. He's the best player on the best defense in football. The Cardinals have the best defense in football. He's the best player. No one on their defense has created more pass rushes to the quarterback than J.J. Watt. He's created 11 incompletions. How do you think that he's not going to be a huge loss? We talked about this on NFL Live yesterday as well, that the thing that they do, the weakness of this defense is stopping the run on first down when me as an offense put two tight ends on the field. So now the best player on their defense, not only in the pass rush game, but in the run-stopping game, is out, and you're going against a team that unequivocally and unapologetically will run the football, and you don't think that's a big loss? The Packers over the last 2 or 3 seasons are 6-0.
It ain't got nothing to do with being a big loss.
Bro, the Packers without
Davante,
but the Packers without Davante Adams over the last couple of seasons are 6-0. They're 6-0 without him. They scored 33 points a game without him.
Let me tell you something. I'm sick of people saying that, okay? I'm sick of people saying that. They played the Dallas Cowboys, whose defense is trash, okay, last year in 2019. They played the Kansas City Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes. Let's put some context to when we start talking about 6-0.
They scored 33 a game. All right, so we'll take the win-loss without
it. And Alan Lazard was there. Lazard was there, wasn't he?
Right.
Didn't he step up in a major way?
Yes.
When they were out? But
yes.
Let's go to Davante Adams, Dan. It has nothing to do with the point that the J.J. Watt is out of the game. It has everything to do with the way the Cardinals put points on the board. So if J.J. Watt is removed, you think this defense is going to give up 15 more points because J.J. Watt is not there?
No, but I think the game is going to be way more connected. I think as an offense, I can now even more so attack the thing that you don't do well. Going back to the fact that this defense, if you get into second and obvious pass situations and third down obvious pass situations, you have no shot with the crazy blitzes that they bring and all their exotic coverages. But again, looking at this football game, if I'm Matt LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator for the Packers, I'm going, you're going to get a heavy dose of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I'm doing if I get a late box, run the football.
Sure.
So now they lost their best player to defend the run.
Are you not factoring in the equation that offense in Arizona is as explosive as anybody's in the NFL?
I agree with that, yes.
So I've sat on stage with you for now 3 years, and I've heard you tell me about quarterback passing game and how you make up for it and how Ryan Tannehill is the key cog to the Tennessee Titans in the passing game off of what they do. They a pass-first team, and you got Kyler Murray with all of those weapons for the Arizona Cardinals, and you think the Packers going to stay in the game by running the football with that defense?
I think they change the game by running the football. I think they slow the game down by running the football. I think they minimize. I think this is a little bit of an old. And you know me, I don't believe in run the ball on first down. I believe be aggressive. So I believe this is a little bit more of an old school game where you try to minimize the possessions that Kyler Murray gets against your defense because you don't have the ability to slow down or really minimize their ability to play offense Arizona-wise. So if I'm looking at this football game and the way the Packers can win it, I think that Robert Tonyan can step up, and Aaron Jones as a pass catcher like you talked about yesterday can step up, and Randall Cobb can play good, and Amari Rodgers can play well. I think those guys can get touches in this football game. And I said, I believe that they have enough pieces within the game to get the game to the fourth quarter. I don't know if they've got a guy that's going to win the game like Devontae has become this year for the Packers, but they got enough pieces within the game. And again, the fact that your best player is out, I look at it as a huge advantage for my offense.
Now, fellas, eventually, though, players will return from COVID protocol and procedures. So let's imagine, Marcus, I'll start with you, that, the Packers are fully healthy. They got their wide receivers back. Does Aaron Rodgers have enough weapons around him to reach the Super Bowl, Marcus?
I don't believe so because for what I'm seeing happening right now between Arizona and Tampa, they have just as many weapons and they have more continuity. And they don't lean heavily on one guy as much as Aaron Rodgers does. I mean, we're talking about Davante Adams in this particular game, but we also got to keep in context about Davante Adams the rest of the season. That is going to be the guy. But when I start thinking about Tom Brady with Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and Godwin and O.J. Howard and Leonard Fournette and all of these guys who haven't been in a constant rotation and they still almost putting up 30, 40 points a game. When I think about the Arizona Cardinals, what I just talked about with Kyler Murray and the weapons at his disposal, I look at Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers and we all know, let's not fake each other on television. We all know that we only feel like this about the Green Bay Packers because of Aaron Rodgers. Because when you look at the rest of this talent outside of Davante Adams, it's not close to what these other teams in the NFC have after their number one wide receiver.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.